Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2015 edition of Figure 8 Racing and Trailer Racing here at the Antelope Valley Fairgrounds. We're bringing it to you just after 7 o'clock at night. I'm Jeffrey Best, joined with Tommy Mason. Tommy, we've seen this event now 3 or 4 years in a row, and we know that every year it seems to get wilder and wilder.
Exactly, Jeffrey. We came out here, and a big part of it was to do with Larry Naston, who's unfortunately left us this year. So a big memorial for Larry Naston happened during pre-race. But Larry tipped us on to this Antelope Valley Fair weekend, if you will, for motorsports. And ever since we've been here, we've fallen in love with it. Like you said, it gets crazier, more action-packed. And tonight's going to be another edition of how crazy you can get. We got trailer racing, but the big star of the night, the figure 8 racing. 2 heat races and a 20-lap main event. So 8-lap heats, 20-lap main. Jeffrey, the big key item to look at first, look at this track, completely different from years past. It's huge, it's wide, but the intersection is still narrow and fast.
Tommy, one thing that we see every year, and I think it surprises us every year, is that these drivers, you think they're going to come out and maybe try to take care of their cars. I don't think any of them planned to bring their car home tonight.
No, absolutely not. And I mean, some of these cars, we joke about it, these things are full-on race cars. Others, not so much. These things are full-on demolition derby cars.
And you know what? They all get a race together. So even if you have that fast little car, you have a lot of big stuff to get through.
Absolutely. Well, let's go through this line in front of us, do a bit of a starting lineup. The number 96 joining us, not Brian Lear. It is someone else. So we got to get a name for that.
Oh, good. Well,
Brian Lear. I got to give a shout out to Brian Lear, though.
Yes.
Brian is the one who is a mastermind for our camera locations. He helped us out, and he said if he flags tonight's racing, he's going to do his best to keep our cameras pointing straight and up towards the action.
Yeah, good luck with that.
The number 14, that is driven by Peyton Zammerslaw. Good to see Peyton back out here. That car, one of those cars that look like it can be a hobby stock at any dirt track. Right next to it, how about the 5150? Kenny Boysford. That car, perfect example of a straight-up demolition derby car. We've seen it run trailer racing in the past. It'll be pulling double duty tonight. The number 57X machine, that is Ray Butler in that red, white, and blue machine. And then they got the number 4. The number 4 driven by Cole Hines in that, I guess, transformer-looking Rumblebee or Bumblebee. The number 44, a familiar face out here. That is driven by Johnny Troche, and he's looking to do double duty as well tonight. And then we got the cop car always out here, the number 50 of Jeremy Edwards. Welcome back, Jeremy Edwards. And then behind him, another car pulling double duty. That is driven, that's number 49, driven by Ken Lucasanas.
The Pie Drive is exciting as his name sounds.
Exactly. We'll find out. We'll see if he beats us up at the end of the night. And you hear the command by the fans. These cars getting ready for the heat race. So the number 400, another familiar face out here, Derek Udiger. And right behind him is the number 7 machine. This car rolled over, but you didn't see it because we deleted the footage. Justin DeJanes last year in 2014.
We should try a new strategy this year, not do
Yeah, we're going to not find a way to delete it. And then right behind the number 57 machine, all yellow and blue and pink and black. They were painting this car earlier on today. That is the number 57 of Jerome Udiger. And then we got the number 720, a huge looking machine of Wesley Johnson. In the number 01, that is a familiar face out here, Mike Hopkins. And they're another driver that they were repainting the car. And then we got the 4H starting near the rear of this line, Justin Janes out here. And rounding out the field of figure 8 competitors tonight, the number 88. This driver and this car, I think we've seen every single season out here that we've been covering these fair races. Timothy Doherty. And the number 88 machine, Jeffrey, you can see cars filling into the track, getting ready for the first heat race of the night, 8 laps.
Tommy, the key to winning this race, survival. If you're going to make it to the end, that's the only way you're going to find your way to victory lane. We know, as we've talked about, this is often very much a big question mark on who's going to win. Sometimes we see, actually most often, we see some guy stand in front of the camera. That's what we usually see.
That'll usually happen.
But
Well,
another thing we see are drivers that sometimes look like they have the dominant car, dominant driver, but then have an issue.
yes.
So you never know. It's really until you get to the end, because any driver can get taken out at any lap.
Exactly. I was going to say, it can be as easy as the last corner of the last lap to determine the winner, or sometimes, like you say, Jeffrey, the miracle happens where even if you have the fastest car, you can get through it cleanly and take on the checkered flag.
We have some low-budget TV onboard cameras in the field tonight. The 96 machine will be carrying one. The 5150 will also have one on board.
We also have our corner cameras you see facing the intersection right now. You see the field going through this part of the intersection, and then we'll switch right over right now to the other corner camera that's facing the opposite side of the intersection. So you can see these cars going crisscrossing through the intersection. And if you think that's it, no, our world famous camera angle that you see the fire rescue guy walking towards
Probably going to kick it.
is right there. You see the field, the side shot of the intersection. So we got you covered here tonight on Low Budget TV. Thank you all for watching. And this is our YouTube channel. So hit the subscribe button. You get to see dirt track racing, asphalt racing, demolition derbies, and all the like. And you can stay tuned with us all year long because we don't ever take a break from racing.
No.
Here we go. The lights out, if you will, for these first heat race competitors. You see the flagman getting ready to wave the green flag. Field at the ready to the first heat race of the Antelope Valley Fair Figure 8 night. And this is where that wide track is going to play two different favorites. Either you're hammered down and go wide, or you keep it nice and tight in the corners.
Looks like one car already with early issues. The number 4 of Hines. Stop. No, he's going.
Maybe.
But
And there goes our camera across the track. The 57X machine of Ray Butler. That didn't take long. I got to wonder if Hines might have been playing a little bit there, seeing if he can get the crowd excited, but that car all over the place.
It took us one lap to lose the one.
Oh, man. Took out the oldest GoPro in the bunch, or the tripod.
We're about to lose both.
Well, your leader right now is the number 14 machine, starting to run away with it, Peyton Zammerslaw.
Tommy, we talked about how dangerous all this is for the cars. I don't think we really hit upon how dangerous it is for the cameras.
Well, I say Brian Lear called this one because he laughed and he goes, I don't know if you guys want to put your cameras here. And I'm like, Brian, we do it every year. It's not a big deal, and if we lose them, we lose them. Well,
ironically enough, his car was one of the ones that almost took it out, and
Hines getting through again the intersection, playing Daredevil. I believe the 5150, that's a way to see a car just all of a sudden appear in your camera angle.
So here's my question. Do you think that we're already booking a trip to our nearest Best Buy?
I would probably guess so. Look at the 96 having an issue with the right front suspension. See the control arm or something bent.
He's trying to turn.
Or broken off. A ball joint could be. Zammerslaw, I think he's lapped the entire field at this point.
That was interesting, Tommy. We saw the 57X, though, early on have his issues and just drove straight into the other 57. So maybe a bit of a rivalry on who got what number.
Very true. Well, the other 57, of course, you saw him pull off into the pit area. So hopefully they get that car patched up for the 20-lap main event coming up later in this video. White flag for Zammerslaw. And from what I can tell, Jeffrey, I don't know which groove would be better. Because Zammerslaw, he throws it in the corner, the car will stay tight as he comes for the checkered flag. And there it is, a 14, I believe, who lapped the entire field maybe once or twice. Peyton Zammerslaw gets the first heat race win of the night.
We had a couple cars that pulled in early, didn't finish the race, but Tommy, just about what we expected. I'm taking a look.
I think our camera ended up in the berm area.
No, I think I see it.
Oh, okay.
It looks like it just fell over. Heat race number 2 on track, getting ready to go. Tommy, you made a note of how many cars are in this heat race.
Yeah, this is a big heat race compared to the last one. That's going to be exciting to see 9 cars out on the track at the exact same time. This is almost like a main event, considering the first heat race, I believe, was 6.
And there's a lot more bigger cars in this one, too,
Big
so we'll
cars.
keep an eye out on that. Tommy, you also made note that we're almost wrecking over in turns 3 and 4. The 400 machine of Derek Udiger.
Yeah, he's back out here.
He's doing everything he can to keep up.
He's just trying to keep up his momentum. That car's way heavy for this slick track. And then in front of him, Jeffrey, is the number 01 machine.
Yeah, that 01 machine of Mike Hopkins. Probably, and I don't know why he didn't win it, but probably the prettiest car here tonight.
Very true, yeah.
Tommy, you also made an interesting note about the 4H car.
Yeah.
Justin Janes. They made the effort and did something interesting that I don't think I've ever seen before with Stax.
Yeah, he has his exhaust on one side of the hood area. Usually people do 4 on each side, but no,
it's right side weight. You know how valuable
on
that
one
is.
side. Whatever works. I don't have Stax in my car.
But the car that a lot of us are going to be keeping an eye on starting up front, Justin DeJanes. Tommy, you mentioned that this car was upside down last year.
Yep, he got a piece of that inside curbing there. You see it in the corners there. And that's all it took. He had his wheels cranked to the right, hit the curb, and over he went. Not a hard roll, but enough to put him upside down.
So we're getting ready to go. Green flag is in the air. We're figure 8 racing at the Antelope Valley.
See how this first lap turns out. The 49 spins it out.
Yeah, that car just is bigger than the turn itself. A couple cars looking like they're already having issues. The 88 looks like it may be off the pace. They're just waiting. The 720 machine, Wesley Johnson, looks like he's stalled it out. And we're figure 8s.
You know, when I walked around the track earlier today, I would have never thought there'd be a traffic jam because how wide the track is. I was wrong.
And more figure 8 action here. Almost some contact and mentioning the berm and the 7 machine and a figure 8.
It was more of a pushing me out of the way.
Speaking of pushing you out of the way, the 4H finally got the 720 out of his way, but it's going to come at a price.
The 4H getting pounded right now.
And that's the second place car of Johnny Trost in the 44 getting tangled up with a 4H machine. The 720 just came back to life.
Oh boy, Johnny Trost. Now they're stuck.
Well, I don't think he's going to be your second place car anymore. I believe the 01 of Mike Hopkins may have just taken over that spot. That car is moving.
Look at that. Look at these two completely stuck.
Now, is that cheating, Tommy?
No, that's just 444H.
Well, those cars going to go a lap down to the number 7 of DeJanes.
Wow, these guys are completely stuck.
There they go.
And now DeJanes, look at Udiger.
Oh, yeah, Udiger getting a little off track. DeJanes closing in on them. And much like the first heat race, here comes the figure 8 action. A couple cars going to whoa up. Udiger going to floor it and probably take, I don't know where he's going.
He somehow found a way to go all the way into the second corner.
I thought he was going to take out our camera that's been replaced. He's just sliding all over the place.
He's always fun to watch. Would you agree, Jeffrey?
Hopkins off the pace in the 01.
He's off the track.
Yeah, it looks like what he's doing is he's lining up his car for a good angle. Udiger looks like he's doing half the track right now. And DeJanes continues to lead, has lapped the entire field.
I've always been a fan of Derek Udiger.
Yeah, you mentioned this. This was a good call on your part.
He's just always hammered down and putting on a good show.
Yeah, almost some contact. Now, Tommy, this has actually been a fairly clean heat race.
Yeah, I mean, no crazy contact, just more bump and runs. Right there.
DeJanes trying to get around Udiger. Udiger actually kind of impressing right now with his ability to stay in front of your leader. There's a reason that car has an onboard camera on it right now.
Oh, where is he going? Where is he going?
He's just going. Does he need a place to go? Oh, your leader right now.
Derek Udiger, he's trying to stay on the lead lap. He's waiting for that lucky dog.
Yeah, DeJanes right now going through the intersection. He's going to take the white flag. Udiger's not giving up. That's
crossover.
That's a dirt track slide job.
That's a crossover.
That's a full-size figure 8 car slide job.
And where's he going now?
Udiger! Oh!
Talk about being the star.
Hey, that helped him turn though. White flag still in the air. I believe really the only thing we've seen here transpire as far as position goes is Timothy Doherty may have just gotten his lap back and lost it again. DeJanes will make it through and take the checkered flag in this heat race. And these cars are still being exciting. Oh, the 4H.
This is why we come back.
It is main event time here at the Antelope Valley Fair. Figure 8 race, 20 laps of figure 8 action crisscrossing through the intersection. But first, before we do any of that, it's time to go through tonight's starting lineup. Now the leaders, or the winners I should say, of the 2 heat races, they automatically start in the back. So no matter how well you did, even if you led the whole race, every lap, and lapped everybody, too bad. You get to start in the back, and that's where you see the 2 winners waiting to line up as we get ready for this field of competitors. On the front row, the number 50 machine, the famous cop car that always shows up, that is Jeremy Edwards. And to his outside, the 5150 of Kenny Boisvert. The number 4H machine inside row 2 is Justin Janes, and to his outside, the number 44 of Johnny Troche. And the number 4 straight up of Cole Hines, and to his outside, the sparking you can see under the front tire is 57X from the hitting our camera. That's how heavy our camera was. Ray Butler. And then we've got the number 49 machine pulling double duty tonight, so this is not his last race, of Ken Lucazanas, if something of that name. And then we got the number 88 of Timothy Doherty, the number 400 Derek Udiger, and then we've got the number 720 machine of Wesley Johnson. The next row back has the number 57 yellow machine. That is Jerome Udiger, and next to Jerome Udiger, or behind I should say, is the number 01 of Mike Hopkins. The number 96 of Mike Williams, we got a name for that driver, and we get to your first heat race winner, the number 14 machine, fast, I believe he took away with that race and lapped everybody, Peyton Zamerslaw, and right behind him, the second heat race winner, who did the same, led the race, lapped the field, the number 7 of Justin DeJanes, and we get the 1 to go for these figure 8 competitors.
Someone brought a horn.
That someone probably just... Very nice.
He's
nice
a
touch.
dapper Dan.
Jeffrey,
Yep.
we're already seeing problems. The number 88 machine, either he had to get back in the line or something.
All right, here it is, folks. It's all a strategy. 20 laps of racing. There's fast cars, there's big cars, and there's one intersection. Green flag is in the air.
Figure 8 racing, and how's his first turn gonna go?
Like we would expect.
Edwards getting pushed around, shoved around, the 4H trying to get through this one. We've already got cars stopped at the intersection. Williams is gonna get hit. Udiger slams in. We've got a SIG alert in the intersection. The 4H might lead the first lap if he can get to the line.
It's whoever's get to the line right now.
Jeremy Edwards leads the first lap with contact. Your second heat race winner, the number 7, already up into the top 6 right now of DeJanes. So Jeremy Edwards, your lead of the 4H in the second spot of Janes. It's going to be fun to see how this one plays out. The 2 biggest cars hook into the last corner. Second place, shoving the 57 around of Janes.
And you see with a heat race winner having to hit the other heat race winner, to Janes, getting through. So Tommy, who do we have as our leader right now?
Number 50 of Jeremy Edwards. Udiger going in reverse. Instead of making a 3-point turn in the corners, he just decided to go in reverse.
It might be working better for him.
Jeremy Edwards.
Oh!
Jeremy Edwards
Still in
has
reverse.
a full corner lead right now.
I'm pretty sure. Oh boy!
Hines in the second spot in the number 4 machine. He's going to get tagged and into Williams. That'll allow the 4H of Janes to get by. But here comes the 57X of Udiger.
Yeah, that's a big one, Tommy.
How about this? Lead change. We got a battle for the lead. They're side by side. Edwards getting stuck with Udiger.
Remember, the 57X didn't even finish his heat race. Took out our camera on lap 1.
So I apologize. Ray Butler, your leader. 4H in the second spot of Janes. Your top 4 all racing in a line right now. Third spot, the number 7 of DeJanes, and Edwards against Stalin in the second corner. He's going to lose a couple of spots now.
And despite all this madness, Tommy, this is so far one of the cleaner figure.
3 wide for the lead, coming across the intersection. 4 cars in a bunch duking it out, and your second heat race winner just moved into the lead. The number 7 of Justin D. Janes.
He might get caught up, though.
Derek Udiger peeling off the right front tire. It's all down to the rim. Now he's smoking up the show. Literally.
Somewhere in there.
And Edwards
Janes takes over the lead. Oh,
Edwards,
boy. And it looks like a tire off on the 14 machine. His axle breaks. The whole axle on the right rear is just sitting there on the ground.
Your first heat race winner. I think maybe we just found out why that car was struggling in the first part of this race.
Oh, look at this pack going through.
It's a huge cluster over in turn 2.
And a hard hit. And your leader gets caught up.
Everybody caught up. DeJanes trying to get it going again.
A couple cars taking each other out.
DeJanes heavy left rear damage. Your leader still is the number 57X of Ray Butler. In the second spot is the number 4 of Hines. Third spot
is that a battle for the lead right here?
Coming out of the second corner right here, battle for the lead. Hines and Butler. Johnny Troche in the background in the 44. He's looking for the lead, though he's got some time to make up.
This is a great race.
Hines takes the lead in the fourth corner and through the intersection.
In front of him. Red flag.
Red flag is out. We got a fire underneath the 400 in turn 2. Derek Udiger smoked that thing down to the burning point.
Oh, boy. They're trying to stop.
They are. Well, the 720 doesn't know what the hell is going on of Wesley Johnson.
Nice job.
And I think, funny enough, Wesley Johnson tore up his radiator.
Yep, he did.
Just by not adhering to the
I like
red
how
flag.
they're having Derek do his own firework right now.
How about a hand for Derek Udiger?
He's in there doing his own. and saluting. I'm surprised they haven't told him to just get out.
I'm surprised he hasn't gotten out.
Tommy's a fireman right now.
Well, the onboard camera capturing it all.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't get burnt down right now.
Looks like it was a transmission fire. That car's smoking heavily under throttle. And I'm sure the oil's just burning out of that transmission.
So a couple cars right now, Tommy, that we can kind of pinpoint and say out for sure. This 400, I think, would fall in that category.
400 definitely out. He was a fun one to watch. You go back and watch him in the heat race.
Oh,
he was all over the place.
I just love how we put the onboard camera on the wrong direction on his car.
Apparently, yeah.
Another car that we know isn't going to continue is the 14 machine. You see the axle just sitting there.
Yeah, a fast car in the heat races. Winner of the first heat race, done for the night. Peyton Zammerslaw.
And you could see his frustration when the car broke its axle.
Yeah.
Another car we've seen sitting is the 01 machine.
Definitely Mike Hopkins in the 01 machine. At least he might not have the best seat, but he's got the safest part to park the car, I guess, if he had a choice. Where it gets interesting, though, Jeffrey, the 7, who was leading, who made it up to the lead from starting dead last, Justin DeJanes, heavy left rear damage. Hopefully he can continue on, but I would be surprised if that car is still 100%.
Still, if he's able to find an opening, it looks like he should be able to make up some ground. Another car.
I was going to say with DeJanes, he is, in theory, a half a lap behind your leaders. The leader of Butler in the 57X directly in front of his nose. Second spot, is the number 4H, who they are actually tending to right now.
I think the 4 of Hines was in second.
Theoretically?
The yellow one.
Yeah, I know, but theoretically has her together. No, you're right. Hines
Unless he was closing in as well. Yeah, and that damage for the 4H all came because of that red flag.
Yeah, the 720 not taking account for the red flag.
Now, this will be interesting because it looks like they're sorting everything.
Yeah, we're going to check this one out. At least our records are officially unofficial. How about
Another car getting pulled off, Tommy? You're 96.
that? Mike Williams. That car seems to break every time in that same area. We've seen it at trailer races. We've seen it at demo crosses in Anaheim and San Diego Monster Jams. And especially out here, Jeffrey, it seems like that car breaks in the same spot every time.
Yep. So they're this is going to clean things up just a little bit, open up the track once again. There's a couple cars, Tommy, that made it into the pit area. At least one of them I know of, the 44 of Johnny Troche.
He was in third, yeah. Johnny Troche in the third spot, pulling it off into the pits. He's located behind the Western Pacific trailer. I can't really tell what they're working on.
They're all on the front end of that car. It looks like they're tending to a radiator that may have something with the radiator. But Johnny is still in the car, still has his helmet on. So maybe some attempts at getting something cleaned up or patched up. Tommy, another car we haven't mentioned yet, but was here tonight, had problems early on, never made it to the track, the number 420 machine.
420, yeah, definitely an issue when we pulled in, Jeffrey. Jeff Reinhardt in the 420 machine. They were under that car changing the oil, trying to figure out, it looked like it was a motor issue. The oil that came out of it, from what I saw, looked like chocolate milk, which is not the color you want to see out of your motor. They worked on it for a few hours, could not get it done. So the 420 of Jeff Reinhardt not able to continue or even compete here tonight.
Well, these crews, these drivers, these teams have been working really hard to keep these cars moving at this point. A lot of work between the heat races and the main events. And Tommy, we only have, I don't actually know how many laps we've
No, not at all. So we're going to restack this field and do a half track race.
Yep.
So there you can see the 57 of Butler, the 4 of Hines,
As
the
we
7
expected.
of DeJanes.
So this actually worked
Johnny-
into Jane's favor because now he's back up with your leaders.
Now it's going to be interesting. Johnny Troche now entering the arena, but is he going to start in the back of the field?
I would believe so.
That car is strong enough, I think it can work its way through, literally and figuratively.
So I imagine what it looked again like they were working on the front end. Maybe some radiator patch up, maybe a hose came loose.
Maybe, yeah. Because he was quick. When that red flag came out, he was quick to exit the
He
track.
knew, yeah. One car having issues, Tom, and it's not a car that we want to see have these issues.
No, the 49 having, seems like he's going to get hooked up or
That car's supposed to run the trailer race tonight.
The 49 of Ken Lucasona. I'm always going to have fun with that name.
I noticed.
Lucasona.
Now, you notice that it's kind of a mixed bag. You know, some people debate whether or not what kind of car is better for this event. A big, fat one that'll take a bunch of beatings or the little ones that can get through. We've knocked out just about half of each.
Yeah. If you had a choice, Jeffrey, what would it be?
Oh, definitely a small car that may make... Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on what I'm trying to do.
Very true.
If I'm out here to have fun like Derek Udiger, he had the right kind of car for that.
Exactly. Very true.
But I think that from everything we've seen, the driver that's probably going to end up in victory lane is the small car that survives.
I don't know, Jeffrey. I'm going to have to counter you. I can think of two drivers that have won these figure 8 races in the past. The first one being Dan Pacella in the number 69 years ago.
That's true.
Won in a Demolition Derby style big car, completely missing a wheel.
As
that broke
one
off.
makes it back on track, Hopkins.
And then Eric Brown to go with another car that was more so
built out of the tank, so it can take a beating, but also had a big motor under the hood. So we'll see.
So how many of our cameras are still out there?
Here we go, green flag. We are racing, and the battle for the lead continues on. It's amazing that Butler's car, something is sparking under the wheels as he goes way
It looks
off
like it's
track.
the fan, Tommy.
Yeah. You see when he gets on the gas, you can see the sparks really starting to fly.
Oh, boy. Now, did James, you mentioned this.
Oh, your leader taking a chance in front of Hopkins.
Made it work.
What were we saying about DeJanes in third spot?
I was just going to point out that he does look like he's struggling a little bit.
Yeah, there's got to be either a tire rub or a suspension damage. Hopkins, he's going to go a lap down, but we have a bumper tag for the lead. DeJanes with a run that has to hit the brakes. Battle for the lead, side by side through turns 1 and 2. Haynes and Butler up through the teardrop and into the corner, shoving people out of the way. Do what you gotta do. Your top three still racing.
I was going to say, he has no choice. He's got to go.
Gotta do it.
Another couple cars having contact.
And I think that might have put the 5150 high-centered in the corner. Still battling for the lead. 3 cars under a blanket. Into the corner. Butler's showing his muscle now.
This is definitely one of the best races I've ever seen here.
Most competitive figure 8 race, so they cross through the hairs of the intersection.
5150 makes it out. The 50 machine gets dumped.
And put exactly where the 5150 was.
Oh, your leaders!
And a big crash with DeJanes and Troche. And Hines going way outside of the intersection.
And your leader gets caught up in it. Tommy, we talked about it. You have cars that start the day looking like dominators.
Yep.
Both of our heat race winners knocked out of this event. Oh boy.
These leaders that won the heat races, Jeffrey, they had to start in the back. Remember that at the beginning of this main event. They had to start in the back. And like you said, these guys in their heat races completely lapped the field more than once.
I'm keeping an eye on this 57X. He's got some work to do to catch your leader, but if anything were to happen to our leader.
From what I can guess, Jeffrey, I believe the top 3 is Hines, Butler, and Troche, and those 3 are probably the only ones on the lead lap.
Your leader's gonna have some issues right now.
Jeremy Edwards dumping your leader, Butler, into the lead.
And the 7 machine starts up. I don't know how this thing's running.
I don't know if it's gonna run for long. I don't think he cares. I wonder if the intersection matchup between the 47 or the 44 and the 7 machine, if it happens, I wonder if the 7 of DeJanes is ever gonna live.
Well, your battle for the lead is right here. The 57X has it and has contact and has trouble.
So the 257 cars again colliding tonight, and Hines into the lead. You never know what you're going to get out here.
Edwards and
There's Troche right now.
Cole
At risk
Hines
of going down a lap, the 57X.
And he's going to be a lap down right now. And that was close. Jeremy Edwards wasted no gas through that intersection.
Now I notice the 7 machine's not lifting for anybody now.
Why should he? That car's never going to look pretty again. I believe we're closing down on this race. How about that Jeffrey Butler, who had been leading this one and in the top 3 in this entire main event, falls out towards the later
Now, do you
stages
think
of
this might be a message? Don't forget the 7 and 44 are the 2 that had this contact.
Here we go.
The 7's doing everything he can.
DeJanes off the track. Look out, Flagman.
Oh boy. Something tells me that if we didn't lose our camera earlier,
we would have lost it by now.
Yeah.
All right, 2 to go for Cole Hines in the yellow number 4.
Survive, though. He's taking some big risks.
He's smoothing in the lead now. I believe he's lapped the field. And the way that the field has been shown, it looks like the 50 got the white flag first.
I noticed that.
Let's see. Did Jeremy Edwards just win this figure 8 race without us noticing? It looks like it. The checkered flag for the cop car. Huh. Cole Hines is going to come across the line somewhere.
Third place to Cole Hines.
Well,
you know what my concern is that when the red flag came out, everyone forgot how we score figure 8 races, and everyone was on the lead lap because both of our leaders had issues. Technically, all three of our leaders had issues.
No, exactly. Unless, like we'd mentioned, Jeffrey, our scoring is officially unofficial. But I thought Cole Hines had this one in the
Then
back.
why did they restart not having...
The lineup was correct on the restart.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I don't know.
I'm not arguing, I'm just confused.
Me too. But it shows again in these Antelope Valley figure 8 races that you never know what to expect, you never know what you're going to see, and you never know who's going to win, even when you thought you did.
Absolutely. I'm keeping an eye on these two drivers.
I got to say, big congratulations to Jeremy Edwards, because ever since we've been coming out to these fairs, Jeffrey,
Yeah.
he's probably been one of the most unluckiest competitors out here, and tonight he gets his win.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we can hear you. Our winner of the 2015 figure 8 races at the Antelope Valley Fair, Jeremy. Thanks, Jeremy. What a great, gracious winner.
Well, coming up next, trailer racing from the Antelope Valley Fair.
Missed anybody? You got the LA County Sheriff, Lancaster.